I'm back. Crisis averted. Postpones. Yeah, family drama. It's never really solved, is it? You just kick the can down the road and hope you can fix it in the future with more information, wisdom, knowledge. Anyway, back to Perry. So I think fame has been on my mind a lot lately. I watched a really excellent video. I'll link it in the description. Um, about what fame does to people's brains. Very, very compelling. Basically, some guy like me who like nobody watched, all of a sudden he starts doing mukbang. Mukbang, if you're familiar with that, it's basically binge eating on camera. You lay out a bunch of food, and then you just like eat and talk. And all of a sudden, he went from getting dozens of views to like thousands of views. And spoiler alert, long story short, he basically became obese because this became his whole thing. And he also noticed when he cried, when he'd like cause a big emotional scene, he would get even more views. So he basically became like a total mess. And I should look this kid up. I don't know what's become of him. I don't know how he's going to get out of it. But yeah, I watched this video like a few days before I read the Matthew Perry book, and Perry kind of reminded me of that. His whole pathetic, self-deprecating, I'm a mess, but I'm trying, he, look at me, trying to kind of actually the way Jim Carrey describes himself in his childhood about how his mother was depressed and he became a clown basically to cheer her up. Um, so maybe I should consider myself lucky that my mother was never very impressed with my humor or my antics. Um, yeah, and she banished me instead of being cheered up. But yes, even what I'm talking about now, this is really like infused into the culture to this kind of obsession with self, obsession with where you've come from, what you've been through, your mom, your dad. Perry talks about how when he was a baby, he was really colicky, cried a lot, and they gave him some drug, which would be illegal to give babies now, that just like knocked him out. And maybe that set in motion his brain chemistry to make him more susceptible later. Although even that idea that he's now more susceptible because he was a baby, this psychological obsession where we're like trying to get to the root of things. Like we're not going to get to the root of things, and it's a social psychology problem, like a major problem. Even the word science attached to a survey, right? 54% of women prefer clean shaven men. So like you're gonna shave to like go get a woman. Like, is that science? Like science is like when you boil water, it reaches a certain temperature, it boils, like end of. Now maybe if you do it in the Rocky Mountains at a higher elevation or in certain circumstances things can change, but it's measurable and it's replicatable 100% of the time. Now I get it, human beings are a lot more complicated. But when you do surveys, when you put people in situations and see how they act, and I mean, I get it. I've read probably like at least 500 books about social psychology, self-help books, you know, habits books, brain hacking and all this stuff. And it's good and it's interesting. But when we take it too seriously, it can do more harm than good. We get obsessive, and human beings are just complicated. There's no 12 steps or 10 10 techniques or 5 moves that you can do to fix yourself. Even the idea of fixing yourself. um, Another really interesting video, man. I do love YouTube. I've Facebook, everything else I'm just done. It's just such enshittification, just such garbage. But YouTube, I don't know, I really admire the amount of work and effort. I mean, I'm just sitting on the floor, no special effects, no graphs, no charts. Hopefully I can remember to add all the things that I'm talking about into the description. But I mean, yeah, people, I don't bemoan anybody for, I don't bemoan the algorithm for not pumping me up. I mean, I'm kind of glad. I feel like I'm this like in this like secret room, like up in the mountains, and people can walk past and kind of like see me and then leave, and like almost no one knows about me. And this kind of brings me back to the fame thing as well. Like fame is really a double-edged sword. You think, oh, if I was famous, I could influence more people. I could, spread the word. I could make a lot of money. I could have a lot of influence. I could have power over my life, and power over other people's lives. But it's a two-way street, and people forget about that. You're shaped by the people looking at you. And